Hello,
Hello, here we are again.
here we are again. Here we are. Are you ready for episode? What is this? 2?
I was born ready.
Perfect.
I'm always ready.
What are we gonna talk about today? Go on.
So I think let's talk more about season 1,
Uh huh.
writing it,
Yeah.
why we wrote it.
Yeah. Let's just really dive into it.
Let's get deep.
And also, we could talk about like the process of like shooting that first season.
Yeah.
How we went about it, and then how it was to actually post it on social
Yes.
media. Do you want to start? You're the writer, so maybe we start with the writing
So we were writing it
in a coffee shop.
in a coffee shop. And for me, I think this is when I truly, really fell in love with the characters.
Mhm.
I think there's something about Penelope that I just absolutely adore. I don't know why. I think it's because she's so fun to write. Whereas
Yeah.
I feel like Kate, because of the nature of her character,
Yeah.
because she's not as fun and free spirited, there's just
I think she's fun, but in a different way, in a completely different
very
way.
different way.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it was really, really fun, but also important to write something that was purely from a female perspective.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, like, we do have conversations about poo, we do have conversations about orgasms, and like, it's very free flowing, it's
Yeah.
quite unfiltered.
Yeah.
And it was really fun and enjoyable and important to write like that.
The story and the narrative had to be told from a female perspective,
Yeah.
and I think it was important for both of us that we kept it very real and in a way unfiltered. Yeah, but it's still having that, because I don't think there is at the moment there is anything like it out there. Like, I don't see many shows where actually like I see myself reflected in them, like to the T, 100%. Like, and sometimes I feel like with this show, it's almost like an extension of real life.
Yeah, 100%.
It's almost like a merge. Is merge the right word between what it would be to have like a camera on you all day,
Yeah.
and actually bringing that into cinema.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's one of the things that, like, even though at the beginning it was very, I felt it was quite vulnerable for us to do something like that. Now, the time that a little bit of time has passed, I realize that this is actually the core of our show, and is what makes it so different and so relatable.
Yeah.
And it's been, quite frankly, it's been quite nice to get the feedback that we get from girls and women.
Yeah.
Because this is precisely the point that they make all the time. It's like, oh my God, like, yeah, she's in the toilet having a poo, and and this guy is texting her, and she doesn't even flinch.
Yeah.
Is it flinch the word? She
Yeah.
doesn't even like flinch about it. Like, this is how it is. Or like, she's having stomach problems, and so what? Like, she doesn't want to go on a date because she's bloated, and like, I don't know, just in general. Or when we then talk about orgasms and this and that, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think personally for me, I'm not sure that the female relationship or dynamic has been truly
explored.
I think female relationships are super important and incredible and really open. And I don't think you necessarily get that with a love interest as
Yeah.
opposed to a friendship.
No, it's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, writing Penelope and Kate has been a joy, like
Yeah.
an absolute joy. And I think what's really interesting is, like, when we read back the scripts and we look at the seasons that we've filmed, and like Penelope, I see a lot of you in Penelope, obviously, but then I also see a lot of me personally
Yeah.
in her, and vice versa. There's a lot
Yeah.
of you
In Kate.
that's in Kate, so it's really interesting how they
And I think like we should probably do a whole episode just talking about this, because it's so interesting. Like, we
Yeah.
can dive into it. It's so interesting, and it's also like, a lot of the feedback that we have gotten from people is about that.
Yeah.
It's about who these two characters are, and like almost people asking us like, is this really you? Or, are you really like this? And I'm like, well, I suppose there is a part of me that is like this, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Maybe like halved,
Yeah.
mellowed down.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more calm than Penelope. She's a bit like, "Ooh." But sometimes I fucking admire her, I'm like, oh my God. Like sometimes I'm like, where is the Penelope in me? Come on, like, let's bring her on,
Yeah, the fire.
I mean, I'm quite feisty anyway, but sometimes it's just, I think it's her outlook in life that I really do admire a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No fucks given.
Yeah. But always caring.
Always caring.
Yeah, she does care a lot.
She does.
Do you want to talk about... So we wrote season 1, which we wrote it in a coffee shop in literally 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bear in mind, like, these are very short episodes. And this is something that I think, like, for us as well, it was very important to come up with this new concept. It was a very conscious decision that we took in that sense, because I thought, well, at the moment, we don't have a platform to share our work. So we're going to have to start from zero. And if we're going to do it through social media, then we should be very mindful about the way people consume content. But I also think that the way people consume TV and cinema is changing drastically. And even though it's hard to accept, it is happening.
Yeah.
And for me, it was very important that, like, these episodes were, like, fast-paced. Not necessarily fast-paced, because not all of them are fast-paced, but they had to be short, quick, and to the point. And I think one of the things that I love the most about the writing that you've done, Tash, is the fact that we have managed to create a narrative and character depth in episodes that are so short.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I look back on them and I think, like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that people are interested in these characters' lives is mind-blowing to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the whole fact that we're now on
Season 3.
season 3 is pretty impressive. And actually, I do think to myself, like, how on earth have we actually done this? Because you've hit the nail on the head. How do you create a narrative that's interesting, with character depth, that establishes relationships really, really quickly, that makes the audience want to fall in love with the characters in genuinely 90 seconds or less?
Yeah,
How do you do that?
Yeah, because every episode is like some of our episodes now are slightly longer, but when we first started, every episode was maximum 90 seconds. Now they are a bit like in between 2 minutes and 5 minutes, which is great as well. We needed that.
Yeah.
But absolutely, it's crazy to think.
Yeah. High five.
High five, my friend. Yeah.
But then with, like, casting,
Yeah.
I think it was really important for us to maybe give a voice to a region that we kind of felt is overlooked.
Yeah.
A lot
I mean,
of the time.
nothing is being made in Birmingham at the moment. Not a lot, anyway. Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
And obviously we both live in Birmingham. And yes, I'm from Spain, but I've been in the UK for so long now. It's kind of like I'm a hybrid, no?
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
a
know where
hybrid.
home is anymore anyway. But yeah, I think it was important for us as well to make sure that, like, we gave the right voice and representation to, like, many different types of characters or personas. And we really wanted to give opportunities to, like, new actors and, like, people that perhaps haven't had opportunities yet, really.
Yeah, that deserve them.
Yeah, 100%. You want to talk about that a little bit more?
About, like, Ross, Brown Shoes.
Yeah, like, about any of the characters.
I think what was different with writing Brown Shoes is that obviously when we wrote Kate and Penelope, we knew that we were them.
Yeah.
So in a way, it was almost easier
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
So we write Brown Shoes. Obviously, in season 1, he's only in the final episode.
Yeah.
But that episode is like super dynamic.
And it was such a funny episode as well.
And then you start, because, you know, we're really lucky. We have a group of people, creative people that we know.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like with Ross, it was just like, I kind of think it has to be him.
Yeah. We did have a couple of names. Yeah, we had a couple of names and it had to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And then I think like when we finished shooting that first episode in season 1 where he was involved, I remember looking at you thinking, this has been such a great decision. It's him.
Yeah.
It was almost one of them, like, as soon as I saw him, I couldn't unsee him. It had to be him.
Yeah.
For me, when I looked at these characters now and I see their journey and like their growth, I think to myself, wow. And I think again, it goes back to the point of like, we've created so much depth in like very short episodes. I looked at them and I'm like, how have you managed to do that? We've written it, yeah, and like we've discussed it and like we've come up with this and that, but then to actually see it on a screen, sometimes I'm like, I'm actually wowed from a director point of view. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like they've done such an amazing job.
Yeah, everyone has.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at it, which we have done a lot,
Yeah.
you know, there's
Yeah,
a
we
lot
have
of,
to.
even now, season 1 and 2 are like out there for the whole world to see.
Yeah.
Of course, there's learning in everything that we do. So
We keep learning.
things that we did in season 1, some things we changed for season 2, and
Yeah.
then the same for season 3. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. But it's so important as well. We have to learn to be adaptable. What's happening internally, but what, as in like as a team, but what's happening like from an audience point of view. I think it's so important to listen to the feedback. Like to me, it's data, and it's so important to listen to that data and being able to like, almost like collect the information and then make changes that are necessary.
Yeah, for the
based on that.
growth.
For growth.
For the growth.
For the growth. For the growth. Always for growth.
But yeah, I think also it's really important to mention, you know, when you kind of mention to people, oh, it's a vertical
Serious.
series. I think it's important to establish the difference.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of vertical series out
Yeah.
there at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But ours isn't a soap.
it's not a soap. It's cinema.
Yeah. It's TV. It's TV, but in a vertical format.
Yeah.
100%. And I think this is what makes us different. And yes, we might be a little bit ahead of our time. Maybe, I don't know. I actually do not know.
I think so.
Yes, there's parts of me that thinks yes, but equally, like, I looked at what's out there and like I know that like vertical is here to stay because you can see it happening. There are so many like apps now and like streaming platforms where all they stream is vertical shows. And yes, like the narrative behind them and the content, like they might be a little bit more soapy and stuff, but the format vertical, it is here. It is here and it's not gonna go nowhere based on the fact that like we are born now with a phone attached to our hand. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So everybody watch it on the train home.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, like I was flying back from Spain the other day, and like I'm at the airport, and this woman is watching a vertical show. She's like, I was about to board.
Yeah.
So
it's there,
and it's not the first. Yeah. My dad's girlfriend's like she watches like vertical shows, Facebook shows all the time. I'm like, why are you watching? Oh, just a show. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm there like super excited because I'm like, well, yeah, but it's a vertical show. She's like, it's just a show. I'm like, no, you don't know what that means to me. Do you know what I mean? Like it means we're onto something.
More consumable, digestible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about like how was shooting season 1?
For me, season 1 was a dream.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason for that was, I just need to say something real quick.
Go on.
when we talk about the team,
Yeah.
we need to mention our DOP.
Yeah, Ash.
Like, honest to God, that
Yeah.
man is an angel sent from above.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ash, I just want to say I love you.
We both love you so
And
much.
you are incredible.
Yeah.
And please don't leave us.
Please don't go.
Please don't go
Or if
anywhere.
you do, don't go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. No.
But season 1 was like super simple, super easy. All of the episodes only had us in them, apart from the last one, which had Ross. We had a really small crew, really small cast. It was just super simple.
Yeah.
There was no issues.
Yeah.
In terms of like production and location, it was all very free flowing.
Yeah.
and fine.
I don't know if I would use the word impressive, but like one of the things that again keeps blowing my mind about the way we do things is that is the fact that we are a very, very small crew. So we are literally like, obviously you write the show, I'm directing, Ash is our DOP, and then usually we have someone for sound, and then I do all the post production. But other than that, literally that's what it is.
Yeah.
It is true that in season 2 we had a couple of like extra heads. Like we had an assistant camera and we had an assistant director, which they were both great. But other than that, we're always a very, very small crew.
Yeah.
And it's purely because we're making this show with no money whatsoever.
No money.
No money whatsoever.
Help us, we're poor.
Yes, please. I mean, any investors,
Anybody.
if you want to invest into what's coming, please.
Please,
you have our tag there, yeah? Just send us a DM, an email, whatever. Ask for my number, I'll give it to you. But you know what I mean? I actually think it's very important to say, because at the end of the day, like, we're two women from living in Birmingham. Like, our background is primarily in acting, and we just decided one day that we were gonna go and do it, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, what we've made on no budget, being quite frank, is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, yes, I do have a lot of high standards, and I appreciate that, yeah. But so it's like I watch it and I'm like, yeah, this is super cool. But I also know what I would be capable of doing if I had the money. So I'm like, yeah, this is good for now. But I'll never just settle for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's all.
But it's great. I mean, it's great. Like, I watch some of the episodes and I'm like, this is like watching a Netflix show on your phone.
I agree.
So so we have to give ourselves some grace about that, because it is quite remarkable and incredible, for sure.
But then I feel like as things have progressed, the beast has got bigger. And so, season 1 really filmed it in 6 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit less. One location.
Yeah.
Small crew.
Yeah.
Very small cast.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Wonderful.
Season 2, we filmed it in
Season 2, 2 days.
2 days. We did 85 slates in 2 days, and we had multiple locations.
Yeah.
We had 3 locations. So that was quite challenging as well. And it was also January. It was really, really cold.
Yeah. And we also had lots of supporting artists as well for
Yeah.
one of the scenes.
Yeah, very true.
So, and when you've got a very small crew, that's very difficult when you've got actor head, director's head, producer's head, but you're also trying to run around and
also
look after people.
And we're being the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is difficult, for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, we live for that shit, man.
We do. We just need, What do we need?
And
what do we need?
Ash is like, can we just make the script a little bit shorter? Yeah, we'll make the script a little bit shorter. And then you have like a meeting and he's like, it looks a little bit longer.
Yeah. Honestly, like every time you write something, because I think it's so interesting as well, like the way you write and the way I write is completely different.
Yeah.
Like I write from visuals, so before I put anything on a page, I have to see it in my head and then I can write. Whereas for you, it's the opposite, isn't it? Like you write and then you visualize it. And sometimes you send me a page and I'm like, Tash, hold on a second. Yeah, hold on a second. How do you want me to do this? With what money? Sorry, how we got 10 grand in the bank and I hadn't, and you haven't told me? Because because if that is the case, then great, fantastic. But for now, let's just leave it. Yeah.
For now, let's scale it back.
Let's just perhaps, and then that's you, and then I got Ash on the other hand, be like, Tash, what the fuck? why are they 30 pages of a script? We have 2 days, and I'm like, Ash, it's visible. Don't you worry, we're gonna get it done. Somehow we'll get it done. Somehow, and then I'm in the middle of you two. Yeah. Anyway, fun times.
Bless him. No wonder.
Bless him. Yeah.
No wonder.
And then I think like to wrap up this episode, shall we talk about like how it was for us, like when we start posting the episodes online? How was that process? Because we genuinely didn't know what was gonna happen, did we?
No, and I think obviously when you've made something, so when you've poured everything into something, whether that's from the creative perspective or the physical doing it, you're very vulnerable because you think it's great.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be putting it out there.
Exactly.
Like that's me. Like if I am not 100% in, there is no way it will be out there.
But I feel like when you then put something on such a public platform, it's almost a little bit like
Unsettling.
it is a little bit unsettling for a time. It's great and it's nice.
Yeah.
And I think putting yourself in those situations is really important and you need to do it. Whatever the outcome,
Yeah.
you have to put yourself out there 100%.
Yeah.
But there's always that little element of, okay, it's there and here we fucking go now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. I think for me as well, it was because I knew, especially in season 1, when, you know, we were just discovering it, discovering the product as we were going along, I think. And I think I felt a bit vulnerable because there were a couple of episodes like the toilet episode and things like that, or like the orgasms episode and things like that, where I was like, oh, maybe we've crossed a line here. But then I kept thinking to myself, well, if that was on Netflix, nobody would doubt it. Nobody would raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So why can we not do it? Do you know what I mean? Like we had, it was important to stay real and to stay, true to our voices. And
because let's be honest, as women, we're entitled to an orgasm. And
yes,
actually,
we are. We need them. That's what Penelope would say.
And so, that's real.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is real.
So I'm not sorry for it.
No, we're not sorry. We're not sorry for anything.
Season 2, episode 5.
Go
Anybody
watch it.
wants to increase the views on that? Thanks.
Don't watch episode 2 no more. No, I'm joking. Okay, well, until the next episode.
Until the next episode, I think that's...
Love you.
That's us. Love you too.
Love you. Bye.